Alright guys, so in today's video I'm going to be doing a little bit of maintenance on my irrigation system. It's a homemade thing I made, and I'll show you how I made it. I'm going to rebuild it because I've had some leaks and whatnot, but we're going to get that taken care of. It's been pretty wet. I don't know if you can hear that, but the last couple days have been pretty rainy, and I do have a little bit of standing water in some of the low spots in my yard, so I'm probably going to do a video where I'm doing some leveling in the yard pretty soon too. Might work on that some today if the sun dries it out enough, but if not, coming up soon we'll do a yard leveling video, a little mild leveling. Okay, hope you guys enjoy it. Remember to hit that like and subscribe button. So when I said it was a little wet, check it out. That's just from yesterday and the day before, but I need to clean that up too. This is my irrigation system. I've got one of these. This one is in the backyard. I've got another one in the front yard. The one in the front yard gets the majority of the front yard. This one gets a big, pretty much 90-degree section of the backyard. It goes out about 30 feet or so. I've got this quick attach on there, so I can just hook up the hose, turn it on, and let it spray. Alright guys, so we're gonna go ahead and get started digging this first sprinkler system out, and then we'll talk a little bit, so just bear with me. There are some dogs and crowd noise going on, so just bear with me and check it out, okay? So I've got some cardboard to sit on so my knees aren't soaking wet. I've got a handy dandy 5-gallon bucket, small little potting shovel, and some gloves. All right, so I used paver base to kind of sink and surround this sprinkler in here. I'm gonna do that again today, but this time I'm actually going to use all PVC to create the sprinkler system, and it's going to be sealed, obviously, and glued this time. The version 1.1, I screwed together the little 6-inch pieces and whatnot, and elbows, and screwed together, so it wasn't quite as sealed as I would hoped. So here we go. So we're going to go ahead and start digging this one out. I used one of these 5-inch irrigation control valve containers just to house this instead of actually burying it into the ground. I think it works out pretty well. Keeps a lid on it. It looks real professional from up top, and then keeps all the dogs and everything out. Keeps me from tripping on it. This is that paver base. It's kind of a rock and sand and other stuff mixed together. Does a good job sealing and holding stuff together. I've used it in multiple applications. I'll show you more of them up in the front later. So here it is, version 1.0, all screwed together. It's probably been leaking from one of these little joints down here. That's probably enough out now. We can take this apart and show you all the little pieces now. How about that? All right, so here's that sprinkler that I made, version 1.1. We're gonna go ahead and take it apart. I need to keep this adapter because I'm gonna reuse it in the next one. And that's that quick attach adapter. Pretty much the rest of this I had just screwed together pieces. I was smart enough to use some of that Teflon tape, but honestly, screw together was a rookie mistake. But as you can see, it's just a bunch of elbow into another little piece, into that, and I'm joined together into another elbow here. I'm using these 1/2-inch Orbit sprinklers. I think this is an Orbit. Yeah, it's an Orbit sprinkler. I really like them. You can set it to go 360 degrees or anything less than that. So it works out really good. You just plug in a water hose and let it go. I enjoy it. I think it's a good one. I'm gonna reuse it, and I'm gonna glue up the new version 2.0 now and show you all those pieces, all the components. Okay, so by no means am I a pro or anything, but I'm gonna try to rebuild this with 3/4 inch PVC this time. The original build was with the 1/2-inch little screw together pieces, and I feel like I just didn't have enough water volume getting out. So I'm gonna try it with 3/4 inch to see if I can shoot it a little farther and get more water on the grass. So obviously you need some pipe. You'll need one regular 3/4 inch elbow, one 3/4 inch elbow to 1/2 inch, because I'm using a 1/2 inch sprinkler. And then this, actually that's a 3/4 inch female to male. And this is a 3/4 inch to 1/2 inch screw on. So I can screw on that sprinkler. And then I'm using this 3/4 inch hose attachment that'll slip on to the top. All right. You also have your PVC primer, your PVC cement, a little bit of sandpaper, and last but not least, whatever you're going to use to cut your PVC. Got some options here. Might try them all out in the video. So let's get started. All right, so first thing, take that pipe, kind of test fit this on there. You can kind of measure it off. It's probably around there, okay? And then you want to see about how far this is going to be. All right, rough estimate. You can always shave it down a little as needed. And then we'll start cutting. Take your sandpaper, clean it up a little bit. So you're going to take this, get it in here, kind of a little test fit. So you want to make sure that where these two connect, the tops are roughly even. You can kind of see there, roughly even. Okay, and then we're just going to make a very small piece that'll can join these two here. You don't want to make it too wide, so we'll probably go with like a about 2 inches. And I'm going to try, you know, that This saw worked pretty well, so I'm gonna use it again. We'll just clean up these edges again, sand it down. And now the neighbor's mowing. Awesome. Probably should have watched my mower maintenance video. Check it out right here, or right here.
Sounds good all the way on.
Cool beans. Looks like it's all set, ready to rock and roll. What do you guys think? Think it'll be good?
Alright, forgot to mention the Teflon tape here. We'll go ahead and use that.
Not too tight. Just make sure it's kind of seated just right. All right, let's go bury it back in the ground and get it lined up and zoned in. I think I'm pretty much done with this. All right, so finished it. Put that quick connect on the top. Test it down into here. Might have to remove a little bit more out of the bottom. All right, so you want to make sure that you are below the top of the valve cover. That way, whenever you put the lid on, it's not popped up. So that's a good height right there, just slightly below the lip. Now we'll start filling in. I recommend kind of putting one hand over the top of this nozzle so you don't get any of the paver base into it. You do want to have your sprinkler be pretty close to vertical as possible so that you don't have an angle too excessive. So I'll keep my thumb on that. Bring this over here. Scoop some out. Drop it on in there. It's pretty wet in there, but makes it easier to work with. Alright, so I just finished applying the rest of that paver base into the hole. Obviously the water came up, so we will allow the sun to do its job and we'll check back on it later, test it out. Alright guys, so I'm about to go ahead and test this sprinkler that I just installed, version 2.0. You need a flathead, small flathead screwdriver to adjust the nozzle and to adjust the range with the nozzle and the targeted zone. So I'm gonna go ahead and adjust it and get it kind of set up, and let's just see what happens. Yeah, it looks like it's pretty good. It's putting out a lot more water now. I'm just gonna have to turn it a little bit. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, and follow me on Twitter at DonsLawns1.